Good morning, gang. Saturday, September 11th, 2021. The 20th anniversary of one of the worst disasters or attacks on U.S. soil in the history of the country. Every generation has had a moment, if you will, where everybody remembers exactly where they were when they heard about something. Okay. Pearl Harbor being attacked, JFK being assassinated, 9/11. There are a couple other small ones, maybe when Elvis died or when Reagan was shot. But the big ones that most people, say 99% of the people, can remember where they were the first three I mentioned. Now, I'm not old enough to remember the first two, but I can pretty much remember everything about September 11th, 2001. I mean, not getting up in the morning and taking a shower, but after about 9 o'clock in the morning, I can pretty much walk through my entire day what happened. And I bet most of you can too. If you look at all three of those events, they all have something in common. Not that they were a national tragedy, natural disaster, not natural, national. We wound up in a war shortly after each one of them. World War II after Pearl Harbor, Vietnam when LBJ took over for Kennedy, and of course the ongoing war on terror. Now, Afghanistan may be over, but it's not. Y'all know that as well as I do. Okay. The Al-Qaeda, ISIS, whatever it is, they didn't go away. They were kept at bay for 20 years, but they didn't go away. And we can only pray that today, on the 20th anniversary, which our current resident in the White House wants to use as a huge photo op, because he probably doesn't even remember what happened 20 years ago. We can only hope something like that doesn't happen again here soon. But we all know it will. Don't know when, don't know how, but we know it will. It's impossible not to, okay? Kumbaya, utopia is not coming, not happening. The interesting part, though, if you ask Americans, and there was a survey done on this lately, okay, what their biggest fears are: the economy, the southern border, coronavirus, all those are on public's mind. Another attack on the United States is not. And the funny part is, we have another attack on the United States going right now, and have been for the better part of the last 12 years. The greatest terroristic threat to the United States is the Democrat Party. Our way of life, I've said many times before, the United States is not a mass of land on a globe. The United States is a way of life. It is the people. It is the freedoms, the liberties, the rights that we have. That is what the United States is. You could take all the people in the United States with everything we got and move them to Australia and put them on that landmass. That would be the United States. Okay, because the U.S. is not a landmass. It is a way of life, a way of thinking. And with everything that's gone on in the last 7 months, 8 months, there is an end to the United States coming. There's a poll that came out yesterday by CNN, of all places. 2%, think Joe Biden's doing a fine job as president. I think it was, 36% or 33% or something like that thought he was doing an okay job. No, what is it? 2%, 29%. Okay. 29% thought he was doing an okay job. 69% said he was doing a poor job or a very poor job. Okay. That's what's going on right now. Okay. 2% of this country, 2 people out of every 100 think he's doing a very fine job. I'm betting that's probably the White House staff, the Democrats in Congress, and the Democrat representatives in the blue states. That would probably cover 2%. Literally. Okay. Yeah, 2% is about 6 million people, guys. So, the biggest threat to the United States is the Democrat Party taking away every right you have. Yesterday's speech, and I know I'm not going to go into it again. I've already done a couple of videos on it. You guys know, and that we think we're all the same. All right. The threats to taking our life away is literally what the Democrats are trying to do. And we have to stop them. And stopping them is not believing every bullshit comment that's made out there, okay? It's not listening to QAnon. At this point, it's not writing your congressman, okay? It's not picketing somewhere and going to some protest or whatever. Literally, at this point, it's got to come down to something bigger. It comes down to refusing to obey the orders. A lot of companies are doing that. A lot of people are doing that. Refusing to obey yesterday's executive orders. Not, let's say you're a business owner and you get these fines, this $14,000, refusing to pay for it. We have to stand up. We have no choice, okay? Talked about this many times before about companies that want to mandate the vax. They need to lose their business. It's just as simple as that, okay? There was a video that quite a few of you guys asked me to watch yesterday. Breaking news. Biden's executive orders are constitutional. No, they're not. I watched the video, and there's no truth in it. It's scare tactics, fear-mongering, and fear porn. And I will explain why. The President of the United States, as much as he wants to turn the screws to governors and says he's going to, do whatever, get them out of the way, has no authority. Zero, none whatsoever, no possibility, no way of removing any governor from office. Cannot do it. Not legal. Okay. He can say all he wants that he's going to remove Ron DeSantis or Governor Abbott or Kristi Noem or whatever. He has no way of doing it. Okay. No way constitutionally. Somebody actually said, oh yeah, what's going to happen when he sends in special forces and, the police to arrest those people? Good luck, okay? Anybody that believes that the military or the police department are going to do that is smoking more crack than Hunter Biden, okay? Then all the comments about how yesterday's mandate is constitutional. No, not under the Emergency Powers Act and not under Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution. Okay. These are the only things that the executive branch has power over. They shall be the commander-in-chief of the military. And again, any orders given must be lawful orders. Okay. He doesn't have a $1.5 million security force to do at his will. Lawful orders are the only thing the military is obliged to follow. Okay. He shall have the power to make treaties with other countries. He shall have the power to appoint ambassadors and judges. He shall have the power to fill vacancies that will happen when Congress is not in session. He shall have the power to grant pardons, and he shall have the power to sign laws. That is it. Anything else that is done by the president is unconstitutional. Yes, the president can write an executive order. An executive order is not a law. So y'all know that. Okay? It is not a law. You know what it takes to get rid of an executive order? Somebody else to go, this no longer exists. What did Biden do immediately upon becoming the resident of the United States? He wrote an executive order that obliterated all the executive orders that Trump did. Nothing in an executive order is legal and binding. Period. Okay. No, what Biden did yesterday is not constitutional. I am not a lawyer. I have done God knows how much research on this today. Okay. There's nothing constitutional about what he did. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. This has a snowball's chance in hell of going through court. OSHA, the end run that they said they want to make around the Constitution to do this, OSHA has as much authority to write a law about mandating a vaccine as the CDC has about mandating a law about eviction moratoriums. We know how that ended up in the Supreme Court. What this is, guys, what yesterday's speech was an idle threat. That's all it is. They will threaten and hope that a whole bunch of people just bow to the threat. Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, the Bible that Obama belonged to, which of course is who's running the show anyway. One of his points, I think it's point 9, is the threat is worse than what you can actually do. That's exactly what they're following here, guys. They're going to threaten you're going to fire people. They're going to threaten people that they're going to get a $14,000 fine. And if companies say, oh, well, in order to keep us out of trouble, we'll do it, they're falling for the threat and not the reality. Same thing with people. We have to stop letting the terrorists in the Democrat Party do this. What the 46th administration is doing, terrorizing the United States, threatening you that you're going to lose your job, that they're going to take away your kids, whatever it would be, is no worse than what a bunch of guys did 20 years ago today by hopping on 4 different airplanes. It's terrorism. Remember Bush's comment? I can hear you. The whole world can hear you. Yeah. That's pretty much where we are today. We need to tell this administration so they can hear us that their threats don't mean dick. Take a minute today, guys, and remember all those that lost their lives 20 years ago today. Those on the planes, those in the towers, those in the Pentagon, those in Pennsylvania, those first responders who risked their lives to help anybody, the ones who we lost afterwards from sickness that they wound up getting from being a first responder. Take a moment out today, if you see a cop, if you see a fireman, just tell them thank you. Because regardless of what the terrorists in the White House want to tell you, and regardless of what the QAnon people want to tell you, the cops actually do care about us. The firemen do care about us. They don't give a rat's ass about politics. They do their job to the best of their ability. Always have, always will. Pinball out.